Sisu on defense looking to go with the basement choice.
Yep, and one of those big changes that happened in 4.2, which I'm sure everyone who's played the game has recognized, is the change with Doc. We aren't going to see a Doc here, though, on defense, and we're still going to see Rook being played. Not going to see the Pulse. Looks as though they changed it out for the Bandit or Jaeger. But Jaeger's pretty much a staple operator to have here. You're going to have him, due to all the nades that get thrown through all the drop hatches, all the floors, coming in through the garage entrance point downstairs by that generator room, you're pretty much guaranteed to run into flashbangs and smokes. And so Jaeger's going to be a guaranteed pick, obviously. And more recently, in kind of the later half of Season 2 and up throughout all of Season 3, we've had Bandit make an appearance, a pretty vibrant appearance here inside a church, just holding that church wall towards those back stairs. And I wouldn't expect him to do anything else but that. He's got to keep that wall secure so that it forces the attackers to go either through the motorcycle hall, also known as the Memorial Hall, or just down that main corridor through those back stairs. So typically that's where you're going to see a Bandit when he's chosen on the team. And Smoke, obviously, is going to be that great operator to hold off those pushes.
So, Toby in towards kitchen, droning his way through now, making sure it's clear and open. Fabian droning from strip for Eunice as he makes his way in towards the bar. No one up here, no one on the floors above, but they've got to make sure of that. They've got to make sure it's clear, and right now they've checked in and finding which trapdoors are reinforced to blow on open before they then head down the stairs. Fabian sending his drone first, telling Eunice it's clear to come down. No one waiting and hiding around that corner, and then he will look to make this impact. Got to clear out this barbed wire first, so we'll just nade it on open and make sure that's safe to head on down, but then letting Fabian's drone give him a little bit more info.
Yeah, and you can see that the door is already pre-opened. The Eunice's nade did not destroy it. It's already pre-opened. Basically, they're just allowing the peek through there. They're not trying to cause any slowdown from there. What I am curious about is there's no one in motorcycle room to kind of give that pushback. The drop hatch, I don't believe, got opened up just yet, so having a defender in there to kind of push them back a little bit on the stairs might have been the way to go. But we do see two of the attackers working their way down those back main stairs, and it looks as though Wilkin will be picked off first by Toby, who is playing Buck, it appears.
Yeah, playing Buck, shut him down through the kitchen floor as they found him inside the armory. Now the door's being smoked towards Church, and now asphyxiated in towards Memorial. Vapo sprinting in from Church towards armory is picked up by Pengu, who's in the construction tunnel, and inside to B goes Eunice and Fabian. Boonsy down inside Church, and with it just like that, Sai finishes him off as Protax is taken out by Pengu once again from inside armory.
That was about a 10-15 second turnaround there. Just action right from the get-go.
Yeah, as soon as they found out exactly where each of those members of Sisu are, unfortunately one less than normal because of Shatter disconnecting, but they found out where it is they are and stormed onto the site to take them out with ease. Now, of course, players are within their right to back out and remake, and that is what they're now going to do. So, while that round will stick, we are going to come back to our beautiful faces, run to a short commercial break, rehost the lobby, get the players back on in, and continue this game, hopefully the normal 5v5, whatever Shatter's issue is. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. But we will run to a short commercial break, find out what it is, fix it, get it back, and hopefully continue this game without any more issues. Touch wood. But we'll see you in a moment, guys, with the continuation. Welcome back then, guys and girls. We are settling back into the lobby. Shatter's issues is nothing too serious, and we'll be back in just a moment. But let's talk about round number 1 as we are here. Penta successfully attacking, very fast, very aggressive in towards that basement site.
I was kind of wowed by the fact that they cleared out top floors, cleared out main floors instantly, and that was just by their drone placements and where they were droning right from the get-go. They were able to take down the main stairs, push in, and I believe they had the kitchen drop hatch open, right? Or
they didn't. They just used holes in the floor from Buck.
Okay, holes in the floor. But they also scattered in from the back stairs.
They opened construction tunnel and bar drop, yeah. So then they sent Blackbeard in through construction tunnel. They made holes in the kitchen floor using Buck and killed Wookie through there. Yeah. Down the staircase, Ash charged in.
It was a very fast push. What I was kind of odd to see was down towards the back stairs, that main corridor. They reinforced one wall, but not the wall closest to the stairs.
So we saw in the first game today,
looked as though Ash actually just blew it up and in they went.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious why they would reinforce that wall, not the other.
Because it gives a better angle in towards the corridor. So if Thermite comes in to breach the church wall, you can shoot him from there, but you still got to hide behind. The problem was because Wookie had died from the shots from Buck on the path, that's what allowed Ash to rush in there. If Wookie had still been alive, still playing in Armory, different story completely.
Yeah. So nonetheless, though, I mean, very fast attack round. We saw, I think it was still 60 seconds left in the round or so, and they had already pushed in, got all the kills down. Yeah. And like you had said, once they knew where everyone was, it was really easy to go in quickly and already know, okay, I don't need to look to my left because I know they're all to my right. And it's that communication, that team coordination that's going to allow teams to push faster, push quicker, and push more aggressively than we've seen in the past.
Yeah, so we've got everyone back in from Penta. We're just waiting for Shadow to rejoin, but apparently everything is fine and safe. Just waiting for Myra, Wire, and Mossel, that stuff to start back up and will come on in. Now we're looking for the Sisu attack. Now I'll be very surprised if we don't see them attacking the basement again themselves. Penta are going to go down there. Penta, I mean, there's not many crazy ways to defend this bomb site. It does ultimately come down to the same spot. You need 1 or 2 players holding Armory, 1 or 2 players holding Church, someone then watching the blue area.
One of the more, I want to call them new tactics or new strategies that we've been seeing kind of make an appearance throughout the past few weeks of Pro League here have been a push from Garage Tunnel and from Construction Tunnel together. Basically forcing the defense to go into the back of Arsenal Room or into Church and allowing the attackers to just take over the majority of that Arsenal Room and push in from there. And I know it was in the Milspec Orglis game that worked very successfully for Milspec. But going back here to Europe, we've seen it as well. And it looks as though that's been a very tough push, if it's a very tough push to defend against, if you're actually coordinated as an attacker. Because it's coming up from behind the enemy in some aspects. It's kind of catching them off guard in a sense where, okay, you know there's going to be 1 or maybe 2 or 3 guys coming in from the construction tunnel, especially if you're throwing a Blackbeard down there to begin with. He's going to lead the way. Now, the tricky part of that is you need to secure that generator hallway, that garage hallway, or else you're going to have whoever comes through that construction tunnel be sideswiped or be crossfired pretty easily. So I see that meta or that particular strategy coming off more so, as opposed to let's open up the stock room drop, let's open up the bar drop, head down into motorcycle and push into Church, which is kind of the default strategy. We've seen that countless number of times, but we are starting to see some more elegant strategies develop.
Looking at the operators that CC used for defense, okay, they couldn't get the shots, they didn't get the kills they needed, they lost a player early, and that was screwed it. But the operators they picked, anything you'd like to see changed in there? Anything you felt was kind of useless?
I didn't see Valkyrie's cam placements. So they might have been in awesome spots. They might have been covering the spots that they weren't pushing from. But seeing as how we've had some changes in operators, we have Doc making a strong push to be a well-known operator here in the Pro League. We've seen Castle, we've seen Pulse, all these other operators. If you know that a team is going to push hard, they're going to push fast, I feel as though Castle might be one of those operators to choose. Now, getting intel from Valkyrie is going to be awesome, but if the push is going to happen very quickly, going to happen very fast, you might not even have time to get out of your cam for that.
Yeah.
So having the Castle is basically not a permanent, but it is a nice stopping point, a nice slowdown point to force the attackers to either place a breach charge, hit the door 12 times with their hands, or use an ash charge or a grenade. All of those ways are slowing the defense down or slowing the attacks down so they can't push as quickly as you just saw there on that first round. So I think Castle might be one that they want to think about picking. Jaeger's still a must. Bandit, seeing as how they're going for a quick push. In a quick push, you're not typically going to try to get that that church wall opened using thermite, you're going to find some other way to get in there quickly. Maybe gauge it next time. See, do I really need a bandit? If not, pick another upper, maybe a frost. Frost is also good for those quick pushes. If you got a quick push, you're not necessarily looking at your feet. You're looking straight ahead at, hey, okay, I know there's someone behind the ammo crates over there. Same with possibly Capcan. I mean, Capcan's also one of those great operators for if the attack's trying to push through a doorway, through a window, through any kind of entrance point. They're not necessarily looking at the entrance point. They're looking beyond the entrance point because they're going for that quicker push. They're being a little bit more, they're making more assumptions about their entrances than you normally would see in a slower paced strategy.
Yeah, so just a quick update. Shatter getting the error joining the lobby. Restarting his Uplay will be in a second for anyone who runs through nice and smooth. Still then looking on through. When we look towards the next bomb set then, so now should this all go well for Penta? We're going to go upstairs next, or even Sisu want to switch things up maybe, going to go upstairs. That is a site which has started to become very well practiced by a lot of teams and very, very quick on the attacks. It's very, very easy to play upstairs, and those that are generally just null factors anyway, because you can play so far around them that they can't use their vertical play. So we see either very quick pushes in through Strip Club, blow that wall, get that plant down, job done, long-range shots from Blackbeards, Capitals, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or we might see Montaignes coming up now.
So I feel as though, we like you said, we might see a Montaigne pop up for the sole fact that there's less C4 and there's more impact grenades now. And if you've worked with impact grenades at all, you know that they aren't a one-shot kill like C4 is. You know that if you're going up against a shield, especially on Montaigne, I think it's 2 impact grenades right to Montaigne's full shield, drops him down only to 50 health, I believe, or 40 health, somewhere in that neighborhood.
42
so
damage.
It's close to the fact that, all right, now you've got someone, you know you've taken out 1 or 2 C4s. You know they're only going to have 1 or 2 C4s on their team. Possibly pick that Montaigne, go for that stockroom push. I don't know if I would see him on a stripper push for the sole fact that the defense is coming up at foot level. And while, okay, Montaigne's feet are covered, it's still kind of an awkward position to put a full shield in.
Yeah.
So if you're going to see a Montaigne, I would expect for it to be a stockroom push from outside of the kennels and outside garage. But in either of those locations, either pushes, whether it's the stripper into the pool room, whether it's from outside of kennels into the stockroom, you're going to see the vertical gameplay. You're going to see teams either go up into the gym, up into that master bedroom for the pool room, or you're going to see them overtake cash room and overtake the CCTV room upstairs to try to play that vertical game, open up the floor as much as possible, and take away the angles. And I think in either of those cases, if you want to have a good attack, you're going to have to take over that top floor and take away those angles from the defense, because there's a lot of angles. There's many angles for each site, and in order to be as successful at it, you're going to have to basically cover it.
All right. Well, we're going to run to another short break because Shatter is still having issues, which means we need to do some more dances with the lobby and changes around on that kind of stuff. So we're going to run to a short 2-3 minute break once again and get this guy back in so we can get this game started. I was so hyped for this. I was so ready for this to be perfect. And it's just kind of falling right now. But we'll see you guys in a minute. We'll get this game going, and I can only apologize until that's happening. But see you in a moment. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. We are still working on getting Chalet back into this game. He's restarting his PC, he's restarting his whole new players and all that kind of anything we can think of to get this working, but for some reason not quite there. So we're working with admins, we're working with Ubisoft, we're working with the teams and trying to get this fixed. But they are, of course, on the clock, unfortunately, as per the rules, despite, never mind, I was going to say, despite Penta being nice guys and being willing to figure something out, that's something they have to deal with later, and he just joined, so it's all okay. We are back onto Clubhouse. We are back into game. Let me just change this one last setting and we will get this going. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, next Friday, starting at 2 p.m. North American time, TwitchCon is going to kick off. And this very channel, twitch.tv/Rainbow6, will be streaming all sorts of Rainbow Six goodness live from the TwitchCon show floor. And then on Saturday and Sunday, starting at 10 a.m., there will be even more shiny goodness with the likes of myself sitting there and streaming on both my channel and on that stage there on the TwitchCon show floor. Oh yeah, Anna being reunited with my babe, Punji Stick GG. So yeah, it's going to be good fun from TwitchCon next week. But we are back into the game, so let's not worry about that anymore and get this underway.
Can you tell this guy's happy yet? Can you tell this guy's happy?
Yeah, we got Kickstart coming next week. We got Pro League starting again after a 2-week break. We got TwitchCon next weekend as well. Like, it's all, oh, it's fun. And the game's back underway, and that's the most important part of this. So, there it is. Let's see if we can stick it out this time around. So, Penta onto defense. Sisu are on attack. And, well,
we do have basement.
We do still have the basement choice. Nothing too surprising or crazy there. How about their operator choices?
Yeah, we were just talking about how we might, if they know there's going to be a quick push or if you've got a different way of holding church, maybe you don't pick a bandit. It looks as though they will trade out bandit and pick up Doc instead. And I think that's a wise choice, especially with 4.2 changing up the meta, changing up some of the operators here, especially Doc being one of those. A lot of the times, you're going to be in little skirmishes here through the those back main stairs and inside of the arsenal room, going basically peeking back and forth in that main hall or from the garage tunnel into arsenal room. And you're going to be getting little scrapes and bruises. So Doc's going to be there to help that for the defensive team here. Now, for defense and reinforcement setups, I wouldn't expect to see much of a change. I don't think the changes that we've seen in 4.2 have altered the defensive setup strategies, more so just the operator selections for that. So you're still going to see all 3 walls by church facing the back stairs reinforced. You're going to see the construction tunnel reinforced. You're going to see both drop hatches. And I wouldn't expect that to change, at least for a mid-season reinforcement patch.
Yeah, we'll see. Penta sticking with a very tried and true lineup for them. A lot of teams are going to run probably no rooks, Doc only, because of the heals now. Some teams will be still running no Doc and just sticking with their rook, but Penta going with their double setup, same as they were doing before the patch. That very tanky final pair. They will play very aggressive with their Valkyrie, with their Jaeger, and with their Smoke. Those will be the front line of defense, and we'll often see the Pengu Fabian combo, the Doc Rook combo, stuck as the last 2 players left alive, trying to clutch the game. So we'll see whether that's still the case with these recent changes as well. You already see Eunice playing very aggressively in and out of this blue tunnel, looking for Boonsy lying at the end of it as Blackbeard.
Yeah, like we said, Blackbeard's already down here, pushing his way up, looking to see if someone going to be low, head level high. Now, Pengu's on the right-hand side. I believe Boonsy has seen him there, so he's just looking for that pixel peek now, seeing if he might be able to clip his knee at all. But not going to see anything just yet. Pengu's keeping himself covered. But we do spot, it looks as though the drop hatch inside a kitchen was opened up by Thermite. No one must have been paying attention to that.
Yeah, that's why Pengu rotated around from where he was to a closer position because he can hide from the drop down this time. But that kitchen drop opens a lot of pressure for Sisu. Even if there's no one up there, just having they're forcing Pengu to move to a position like that could be big for them. So we'll see if anything comes from it. Pirate Boonsy in that garage dropper, now going to drone down the end. He needs to get this drone far enough that he can see Pengu behind that pixel peak, otherwise he could be in trouble. Chalet going to EMP the church wall, but they still need to get through the barbed wire that's waiting down here. Vapo is the man with the grenade, and it might have actually rolled a little bit too far, but we'll see.
I think it rolled in between the both.
Eunice is jumping just aggressively in towards the thing, but there it is. Boonsy picked up Pengu. In towards the memorial goes one, and Eunice picks up both of them as Protex and Vapo go down. But Boonsy gets a second one onto Fabian. So that's the 2 tankiest players of Penta dead. However, they are getting pressured now from other angles as Chalet takes Eunice out inside Memorial, and they will begin to continue their aggression. They haven't got Thermite left to make that wall open, but Tornado Toby is lacking a lot of health inside behind the bar, and Sai is trapped in there with him. With the dropper open to Kitchen, all it needs from Sisu is a quick drone to figure this out, and in they go to B with the diffuser. Very nice communication from them as Sai gets spotted by Boonsey and executed behind those boxes. Tornado Toby with 1 HP in a dream now. He knows Blackbeard's inside armory, and that's already hard to kill, let alone when you have 1 health. He's looking in towards blue. Boonsey's going to keep an eye on his flank and look in towards blue as well. Shatter's got the hole that he came through covered, and Wilkie, well, he's playing with some barbed wire as Boonsey looks towards the corridor and seals the deal for his 4th kill of the round. And ultimately, the win for Sisu, drawing it out at 1 round apiece.
Yeah, the 4K there from Boonsey. I mean, when it's a 3v1, you've got 1 health left. Diffuser got planted. I think it's time to pray to the Deagle god. Pull out the Deagle, possibly see if something can come from that, because there's not much more you're going to be able to do with an MPX at that point either. So have a little fun with it. But no, with that, it will be, I believe, tied right now. 1-1.
Yep, it's tied.
Penta took their first round as attack. Looks as though the attackers for Sisu took their round. So I expect to see Basement hold again. Not going to have to go up into the bar section just yet as we continue underway in the round 3.
So now we get to see if the hold here from Sisu is going to be any better with their full 5. Now it should be. That was what locked it all down.
Yeah, and so here's a little bit different that we weren't talking about earlier. We were talking about, okay, should they change out an operator for another? We talked about how Bandit might not be useful in case of a quick push. And I think they've reevaluated that, said, okay, we don't need a Bandit, but what allowed them to get that push so quickly? What gave them the most information to get that push in? And it's going to be the drones. The drones gave him that information right from the get-go. So you've got Mute being pulled out here for the defensive team, and hopefully those devices are going to prevent the drones from gathering too much intel in a quick fashion, forcing the attackers to basically either rely on greater assumptions, which are riskier, or slow them down until they can gather the information to make educated pushes.
So Pengu's drone there is inside the construction tunnel. It did see Wilkie and then will be killed off. Wilkie, man with the camera, dropping it on in there. As Eunice is now droning through the bar for his squad. Toby doing the same thing downstairs. Already got past a couple of the jammers though. Will get himself in towards B once more. Now he's going to go up from behind the construction tunnel, but gets jammed before he gets there. So they're going to have some suspicion about what's in there. That's why they've already seen Wilkie. But what he didn't catch was Shatter in there as well. They are going to try and sprint on out. Shatter gets down because he's a little bit slower, and Pengu's credited with the kill. Going with the no shield push to get the speed on here. So now valid strategy for Blackbeard because of those shields being a little bit weaker, because it's not so always on. Using that speed, picking up that first kill of the round.
Yeah, not quite sure what both defenders were doing there. After the wall had already been blown, they were waiting, and the next thing you know, there wasn't a drone that spotted them, at least in that exact moment. And yet, Blackbeard made a perfect push as the defenders turned around and lost their lives for it.
And Vapo, got to be cautious here as Protex now staring underneath the blue drop. It's the one that was blown on open. Toby's still in the kitchen making holes through the floor. Despite the trapdoor being open, he's got a lot of angles of pressure now because of it. Eunice looking down in towards the utility tunnel. Protex is still pinned underneath it. Eunice has all of his asphyxiating bolts left. Pengu is now just sitting there watching from behind. Sai also above blue, looking for a different angle to Protex as Fabian trying to slowly make his way down the front stairs, but the barbed wire is being a bit of a pain for him at the moment.
What I'm seeing here, we've got still Protex down here in the blue hall. Although Wilkie picked up Pengu there with a shoddy on the head. That's going to be Blackbeard paying the price for heading down that construction tunnel. And right there, we see Jaeger inside of the memorial room, which is that motorcycle room, looking down that main hall. Smokes are going to come out. You're going to see a push from the attackers to try to go into Arsenal room like they did in the past. Couple bullets going into that crossfire, but the smoke grenade's going to push that back. It's going to prevent Fabian from being able to push in as quickly as he was hoping to. But with the subsidization of that, he's going to try to turn around, get the corner, and he gets a shot onto Vapo. And now Protex tries to move in from the garage hall. He gets downed in the process. It's all up to Smoke and Valkyrie right now, with, I believe, Bonesy.
Boonsey takes down one with his SMG-11. Tornado Toby there finishes off Wilkie in the trade. Protex is still down on the floor, and there's 3 members of Penta alive with this plant about to be completed by Eunice. He's going to hold on it. He's going to stick on through it. There is a kill hole right next to Toby's head, but he's going to go for the revive onto Protex quickly. Toby doesn't peek far enough in, so he will get him back up. It is to a 2v3. Boozy now goes into blue and is going to peek around the back side. Doesn't quite catch Eunice's head in time and has to go for a flick, but won't make it count. They take out Protax, and Boozy's now got a lot of health missing. And all of it's missing as Toby finishes him off with a quick headshot in towards blue. And another round on the board for PENTA.
Yeah, and again, what you saw there, the wall got opened up, they pushed on in, smokes went out. I did like seeing the gas grenades from smoke prevent the push as much as it did, but ultimately it just wasn't enough to hold them off for the duration. And Mute kind of jumped in through the hole that they made from garage tunnel in that generator hall into the church at the wrong moment, got downed in the process, but was picked back up successfully by his buddy Smoke. And it was a little bit too late for that. A little bit too late because it was already a 3-2, 4-2, and I don't know.
Yeah, using those smokes for their advantage. PENTA just did it for the confusion, held them off, tried to go in through that hole, but beautiful timing from Boonsy Smokes, locking them out of it, locking them inside that staircase so they couldn't go through. But at the same time, they pushed into Memorial, and Vapo, despite having the advantage of the smokes, despite having that kind of coverage, couldn't quite land the shots in time. And Ash was able to rush on in there, and yeah, Protex then caught on the Vault because it caught him by surprise that she was there so fast. That 3-speed operator that Ash is, using that very, very well.
Yeah, I did like the blind fire from her. Not blind fire, but she was the concealed fire through the smoke onto Jaeger, who was inside of that Memorial Hall. And it was just kind of a wrong peek at the wrong time for Jaeger. So
10 seconds to go.
kudos to her as she decided she was time to turn the corner, get the shots off, and then she managed to make her way inside of the arsenal room with the rest of her pals.
So downstairs, PENTA go once more. Last time around, Bootsy picked them apart from this construction, the garage tunnel push, and Blackbeard. We'll see whether they let him do that again or not. We'll keep running in from Ash through via the strip club doorways as the rest of his team is droning on inside. He's checking that direct area. And last time around, remember, Protex did blow open this kitchen dropper. He's going to give it a shot again underneath him. Tornado Toby is close by, but not going to go for the C4 play. And it will be opened up nice and easily.
Yeah, and I believe it was Valkyrie was right underneath, potentially? Not quite sure what we're seeing right there. Oh, there it is. The drone here from Vapo, clearing out the top of the master bedroom now. And Wilkie just trying to work his way down those main stairs. And again, door's going to get opened up. You're going to see Ash pushing her down. Blackbeard's outside of the garage hallway now, pushing in. Again, just trying to get a couple shots through that pixel peak. We do see Doc and Rook tucked back there behind the lockers. And he's now going to get on his drone, try to get some more information for his teammates here. Protex is now changing out spots, swapping it out with Ash. And now he's going to finish droning down those main back stairs.
So the reinforcement is on the close wall here for the PENTA defense. They don't want Ash breaching that and rushing on in like they have done a couple of times. Protex is opting to put wings on his gun now and flap his way down the staircase. As Wilkie will take out these trophy systems by smoking the end of the corridor before his team go for that push in through this front end. Here they come. Eunice once again swept his way in towards the corridor. He's in Memorial now. This is where he was before, but the wall's reinforced off this time, so it does give him a bit more safety. But now he gets blown open as the charge gets put on the wall. Protax is now cautious. He doesn't realize he's in here, and he will step straight into the headshot. Eunice takes it with ease, but the wall has been blown open now, so the church is exposed.
Yeah, church is opened. However, we do still have a nice crossfire here with Junis inside of the motorcycle hall. Thatcher's down at the bottom of those main stairs. He throws one more EMP in. He's got one left to throw. Claymore has not been placed down yet, as Vapo's going to carry the diffuser down those main stairs as well. Taking a look inside of church. Now we have Sai trying to peek out with the SMG-11 from that jukebox area right on the other side of the minibar. And we still have Jaeger inside of that motorcycle hall. So it's going to be a great crossfire. Smoke or gas grenade's going to go out. Blackbeard still not doing too much in that generator hall.
He did just down one man. Toby got down and revived. Might not have been Blackbeard, actually might have been the reset, but either way, it got the job done. Chateau and Vapo pick up kills on the front side, and now the three members left are all inside Armory. Fabian is one, Pengu's other. Fabian goes down. Bootsy picks up one as he's coming in from behind. Pengu's tightened on the left. He doesn't realize this and will be an easy kill for him. Pengu and last man standing Tornado Toby on a lot of health here. Inside the site, Chateau reviving Vapo. He's going to go for the plant. Vapo's got to keep an eye on the doorway. Here comes Pengu dicing across the cap. In they sprint. They line on up. He picks up one. Not sure of where Pengu's going to go. It is a 2v1 for him, but they're both pinned in the corner. He comes in behind the bar. Sprays Vapo down through of it. 1v1. Shatter doesn't have a lot of health to play with here, but Pengu's got all of his. Pre-fires the corner. He knows exactly where the diffuser's going to be. He knows Shatter's going to be pinned in that corner. He stands up, and it's an easy headshot for Pengu to seal it and win the round. And just like that, PENTA go up 3 rounds to 1.
Yeah, 3-1. Pengu with the final shots right onto the last two attackers. Now, both of those angles, both of those positions that the attackers were in are guaranteed spots to be pre-fired. You saw that happening from Rook there. I would have liked to have seen the last attacker there, instead of being tucked in the corner right where you placed the diffuser, back out. But at the same time, I understand why he had to stay there due to the fact that you didn't know exactly where Rook was pushing from. And once you found out, once your teammate had already died, it was too late to move. You would have exposed yourself. So, unfortunately, a little bit of uncertainty there from the attackers once they got the diffuser planted. And Valkyrie kind of rushed in there, got some intel for her team, but kind of paid the price for it. But ultimately, I think it might have been worth it, seeing as how they got the round one. It
was an aggressive and ambitious play.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, Pengu got the job done in the end in a 1v2. Now, Sisu are back onto defense with that same bomb site themselves. Each of these teams is trying something different with each time. This is the spot here from Sisu. They tried mute last time. This time, however, they're straight up reinforcing this wall that has been their downfall for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, and I would have expected to see that the previous defense round for these guys, knowing that, hey, this was blown up before, they pushed in through there, they didn't even care about the church wall, we didn't bring a bandit to prevent it, so let's just reinforce this wall, we don't care about that wall getting opened up anymore.
Yep.
It looks as though, again, they're going to have the mute instead of the bandit, which, seeing as how Penta has been playing against them, I think is a wise choice. The fact that you're trying to reduce the amount of information they have. Now, I think the mute jammers need to be placed in a little bit better locations, because we saw, I believe it was, I forget the drone from the previous round when Penta was attacking, but it got all the way down into Arsenal Room, managed to make half the way up into the construction tunnel where it finally got jammed. But at the same time, there's a little bit of, well, what were the jammers doing? So
this is another downfall of Sisu. Last time is they left them 2 players in the construction tunnel that got picked off. This time, however, Eunice has taken out Vapo, who was on the front staircase instead. So while they did try the same aggression in the tunnel, they lose out a player in the staircase. Toby, there you see, thrown in again from behind. And well, Sisu trying these slightly different defenses, and they're just crumbling. Now, once again, 5v4 before we've even passed the 2:30-minute mark.
Yeah, and I think to kind of counter the push that we've seen here from Penta, I would expect to see a Pulse. You know that they're going to be trying to open up Kitchen, and Pulse is a great counter for that. Get Valkyrie cams up in there without being destroyed, just getting as much information as possible, because information is going to be key for these pushes. But on top of that, get those Capcan traps somewhere, potentially. It doesn't seem like Mute's doing a valiant job. Jaeger's devices, they might be great, but at the same time, they're not doing the best job. So with that, I'd like to see some different operator pushes here.
Yuna's taking Wookie down. Wookie running that shotgun Valkyrie here in the armory this time. And, well, doesn't respect the holes above his head, and he pays the price for it. Chalet does survive damage this time, sprinting across the gap into armory. Smoke's now going down the end. Yes, he has to breach a different wall this time, but Fabian is looking to make that same push as he did before, and over he goes. He walks into Chalet this time, and he gets the kill instead. Chalet gets down. Eunice picking up one on Protax and the one on Boonsy, and just like that, Penta are up 4-1.
Yeah, I think it might be time for Sisu to think about either changing up the bomb location or changing up the operators, because Penta has been doing the same push all 3 rounds down here in the defense or in the church and Arsenal room, and it's worked out for them.
The thing is, every time Penta have done it, they've been given 1 kill early and easily. Shatter in the construction tunnel to Pengu. Shatter disconnecting in the first round.
Yep.
Vapo being killed on the staircase there at the end there. There hasn't been a full proper 5-man defense from Sisu when that push comes through. They've just all been dying early. They've all been dying to silly things to begin with. That's what they need to fix here before they need to fix any kind of operator choices, I feel. It's just staying alive.
Yeah, I agree to some degree. So we do have the early kills happening, but at the same time, Pro League teams, they realize that, hey, we aren't going to have 5 defenders every single time, or we're not going to always be going up against a 5-man attack from a 5-man defense standpoint. So being able to secure a location from a 4-man shouldn't be that much of a detriment. If you're down 5-3, yeah.
It is against 5 people.
It is.
So at the very least, if you're going to lose people in a fight and you're going to accept that you'll lose some people, you got to take people with you then. Instead, they're losing them for free, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to say.
Very true.
Like, fine, you're going to lose people, but kill people too. that's not happening. They're just losing people for free, and that's what's losing them these rounds.
Yeah, and one of the new metas that we've seen, or new strategies, not meta, new strategies we've seen formulate here on Clubhouse has been the holding of Stripper Hall. And we see that happening here with Penta successfully reinforcing all the walls inside of Stripper, except for the wall facing the pool room, which is though they're going to keep at least one, if not two defenders inside of that room to hold it off.
So, see a 3-man spawn over here by Kennels. Protect Chalet and Bunsi, looking towards that B door perhaps. Cracking open a couple of holes, grabbing over a couple of the aggressive spawn positions, and then going to switch up and drone. Wilkie's downstairs in the basement after Vapo droned it for him, and will now drone the bomb sites themselves. Eunice there upstairs inside the cash room, and then Vapo's drone will be taken out by that one man left spotted in the corner. Fabian aggressive here at the front doorway. Pengu inside the strip club with his man Bandit, as Tornado Toby is this one man left stuck. Yeah, watching B.
Kind of what we're seeing here between both A and B bomb sites is going to be this wall, which in the past has been C4'd to allow a nice run-through or walk-through hole. Here it's more about line of sight. They're not caring about, okay, if they get into B, can we walk through right into the line of fire there? It's more, can we see them into the bomb site? And it looks as though they are going for that kind of route.
Yeah, it takes Pengu out quickly and easily. Wilkie, he was rotating back through from the strip club as Wilkie comes above. He's now going to break open the trap door over here. Sai is looking to slowly keep an eye on that doorway from a similar place to where Pengu was, but he's got to be cautious that he doesn't give away too much. Toby starts shooting at an EMP grenade, and well, Eunice is here now watching the staircase. He knows Vapo's on the floor, and he's going to tag him through that very small hole. It's a beautiful angle, which is very much favored to the defender, and he will make sure it counts. So they do trade it back to 1v1, and then he goes on up to a more aggressive spot. Wilkie above, watching the doorway towards Strip, which is where Sai was. He hasn't had to reposition himself in towards the strip club again. Fabian's overhealed himself. Now he's expecting conflict somewhere soon as he can hear Boonsy cracking that door open. But Toby gets him in from the bar while he's cracking open that barbed wire. It's a beautiful shot onto the top of Blackbeard's head, mid-melee. Fabian will take out Shatter as well elsewhere. This could be all she wrote for Sisu on this map. They only need one more round here, Penta, and they are up 4 versus 2 in operators. Wookie's still above in the gym. Protex is outside the B site with the diffuser, completely split from one another. And now he just gave his position away with those shots. Fabian's going to have heard him by the door. Tornado Toby's going to have heard him in by B. And while Wookie is inside the site now, he seems to be undetected. He does take down Toby, and that's one. Now he's going to go towards Sai, who is ready for it. And it's all on Protex in a 1v3 with the diffuser and 15 seconds to dead.
And there will be Sai picking up both kills there for the final round there. Penta winning 5-1 here on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I mean, it's a map we know everyone's practiced. We know it's a very well-played map. We know Penta is a very strong team, and they've just gone ahead and shown how strong. We talked about how this could have been the top 2 in Europe. These could be the very 2 teams, and they still may well be.
Yep.
But with Penta showing that on that specific map, they are steps above Sisu's current squad.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, steps above. We saw the magnificent strategies for that basement push. Now, granted, for the attackers, when Penta was attacking, it was mainly one standard push that they kept doing in from construction, opening up as much of the floor of kitchen as possible, pushing down those back stairs. But for the most part, it was a single strat that just kept on working, so they kept on utilizing it. And I think if you can keep on utilizing something that works, great, go for it. It's kind of those moments that highlight when a team highlight a great team when something doesn't work, they're able to adjust to make it work or make another strategy work. And I think that's something that Penta has in their back pocket they're able to utilize.
So on the defense of that upstairs bomb site too, it's a site which is very, very tough to defend if you let these attacking operators settle down and get into the positions they want to be. The defense came through there from Penta by playing heavy aggression, by playing out many people in the strip club, by playing out in the garage and out in the cash room and up top. And yeah, and they just didn't let the attacking operators get into those set-taken positions. They killed them all before they even reached it. I'm not entirely sure. Sisu did drone a lot. They found some of these players. They spotted their positions. But every time they went for it, they weren't the first ones firing. Despite the ones they were peaking, they were the ones with the peaker's advantage. They were the ones with the knowledge. They just couldn't get those shots to count.
I think a lot of it comes down to situational awareness. A lot of it comes down to map awareness. A lot of it just comes down to being outgunned. I mean, you might be really good on a particular map, looking down a particular corridor, but you change that up by the slightest. You have a different angle just by a hair. You now might not be as good as you thought you were. And so having PENTA showcase their angles, showcase their ability as individual players as well as just a whole entire team is kind of something that I like seeing. I like seeing those talents highlighted, and I think we saw some of that today.
Yep, so while we wait for the players to shovel back into the fresh lobby for the next map, it's going to be Chalet, of course, coming up second. We're going to run to another short commercial break, let them just funnel back in and let them get in nice and quick and smoothly without you having to stare at our faces. So when we come back, it will be PENTA versus Sisu on Chalet, another very well played map by both these squads, very overplayed in some senses from a lot of the teams, very well practiced, and something else which offers very rewarding rotations and adaptions in round-to-round basis. So, I mean, if anything follows a similar show, it's going to lean towards PENTA, but we'll have to wait and find out.
Might even see a little bit of Claymore action.
Possibly so. We'll have to wait and find out after this short break. And welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. Chalet is our second map here, PENTA versus Sisu. Well, looking at the operator choices already, we're looking at a similar lookout setup for PENTA, bar Castle in for Valkyrie. We talked about how Castle is now starting to make its way into maps like Clubhouse, a few others for its versatility and just the delay tactics he brings. But bringing it here onto Chalet on the bomb sites other than gaming and bar is a new one.
I'm not quite sure I can see Castle being overly useful here on the trophy kitchen hold. Now, if you were to say wine and garage, possibly yes. You can quarter off one entire entranceway, which is going to be that back stairwell. You could potentially do that. But here, to me, if you're trying to utilize castle walls, it's either going to have to be the double doors. Actually, what I'm seeing here is it's going to be holding off the top L-shaped corridor to try to make it easier to hold that master bedroom. And I possibly am seeing this happen now. What I was going to first say is maybe they're going to put both castle walls on the fireplace walls or the fireplace doorways into dining hall. That's going to make it pretty difficult for the attackers to push in, especially when it gets to the last few seconds of the round. But it looks like they're going to quarter off the library. They're going to quarter off the rest of that top floor to just make it easy to potentially hold into master bedroom. And we see Tornado Toby here inside of the bathroom, opening up the wall between the outside of master into the bathroom, but also having the doorway from master there shut off.
Now, Wilkie is up and on the balcony already. They're shooting open the window for him so he can get an eye line in. Toby is just around the corner from his sight line right now. here's peeking out towards the hole. Now he's going to see Toby, sees him. Beautiful headshot. Could have gone either way in all fairness, but Wilkie makes it count. And they do get that first kill onto the player upstairs. Boonsey now rappelling up onto the balcony. Will now be a little bit safer from that bathroom. However, because of that crawl hole, Doc has now gone and replaced him. Sai over in the office. Now he's peeking back on in. Boonsey does land a lot of damage here onto Doc, but 1 HP on Boonsey, 1 HP on Doc. That doesn't last, though. Doc can now heal himself up. And he is back to down near full health. Blackbeard cannot have the same luxury. So on this balcony, he has now been joined by Vapo's Sledge, who will crack open the barbed wire just inside the door and then edge away again.
Yeah, you're seeing Blackbeard falling off or jumping off, intentionally jumping off, so that he can be revived here.
There's your Claymore waiting underneath him too. At that trophy room window, there's the Claymore already set up and ready and waiting for anyone that may jump out of there to try and catch someone who is late on top of that balcony.
I might have laughed quite a bit if he landed on top of the Claymore and it blew up.
Vapo picks up another kill onto Fabian now as they're starting to fire in through the master bedroom. They are picking up kills onto these players that were on the top floor. So they've taken out the smoke and the Doc now who are up here holding it. But they seem to have dropped their guard a little bit. They're not ready for Sai to be here. Pengu, with the blind spray that was coming down from above him, has taken a lot of damage, and there's no Doc left to heal him now either. Sai is still here in the office, and well, they are cautious of it. Shatter is looking down to the floor very much on the basement below. Wilkie is on the floor below. Boonsey is watching the corridor. Vapo's out in it, but they aren't quite ready for sight. Ooh, the team kill almost comes on in, but it will be finalized afterwards by Vapo. Eunice has finally got a kill for the defending team. He takes down one, but as Wilkie tries to sprint on outside, he makes it without a scratch. And Eunice, with Pengu in tow, have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and right now it's just up to a 4-on-2 with, again, Pengu being very low on health. Junis inside of the kitchen. A little bit of scattered right now. Not quite sure what angle to look at. We do have Blackbeard outside. Looks as if he's going to pick up the headshot onto Shats, though. And now Boonsey. Is he going to push on? And he does. And it's going to be Junis picking up the second kill as Vapo picks up Pengu. And Junis picks up the third kill. It's now a 1-on-1. Pistols come out. And Wilkie will get the shot onto Eunice for that round. And it's going to be, Sisu taking that round.
Very tight finish as they pick up a 3K on Eunice, as he is just a little bit more unaware as far as the Sisu team go. They didn't quite have a lock on his position. Shatter peeking that window, didn't know where it was he was looking. He was looking towards dining because they knew Pengu was in there, but they didn't know where Eunice was. They couldn't quite place it where he is. And while Boonsey did know of it after he's come on in and killed Shatter, it's still a little bit unsure as to whether or not he can get that kill. That kitchen is a big space. The kill hole was a big space, and when he leaps through that window, Eunice can pick up the kill sweet and easy. Now, however, a flick reaction around to kill Vapo in the doorway, and it all got a bit hairy for Wilkie at the end.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting Blackbeard to make that push into the window at the same time that Twitch was looking in through the kitchen window. But unfortunately for him, he kind of pushed in maybe 2-3 seconds after Twitch had been killed, allowing Eunice to just turn with plenty of time to line up to that window and ultimately killed him off. But I was really hoping that pistol shot right on the Capita would have finished him off, but it didn't, and therefore it was Sisu taking the win there.
So, as they now set up their defenses, it's a far more standardized build here for the Sisu squad. Nothing crazy going upstairs, no castles, no shotguns into the bedroom, just a camera or two being placed up here by Wilkie, and information being fed to the attacking team by the drone that Fabian had left up in there. 4-man spawn over towards the campfire. Fabian actually missed that camera. I don't think he realized it. And leaves it on up. Pengu now goes up on his Blackbeard to fire in towards the office and the kitchen windows, and now rotates around towards the fireplace. As Saya continues to drone the upper floors, and they realize that it is largely open and clear. That means these guys out here on the balcony will start making their way in, and once again, one of them is Tornado Toby and his buck. We saw him do this on Clubhouse with a lot of effect, taking holes out through the floor, using that shotgun, and really harming the defenders.
Yeah, what I'm not seeing though, or actually what I am seeing, is it looks like all defenders are going to be on site. And oh, there goes the C4 to light up Buck from underneath. But what I'm having trouble visualizing is where the defenders are going to be placed once the top floor gets opened up, like it will be here shortly. I mean, all the angles are going to be, not all the angles, most of the angles are going to be taken away, especially to maintain a constant 5 defenders on site is going to be quite difficult. So I would like to see 1 or 2 lurkers around. Maybe they pop down from some of the drop hatches, come up around into the fireplace hallway, but not yet, it appears.
So, Sai, notice this sketchiness, the speed of his movement there as he Had to try and avoid any other follow-up C4s, but he does get the trapdoor opened up. Takes down that for a free 10 points. And, well, Eunice was flying over these holes in the floor there, but had to run away scared because Boonsi's shots came up underneath him. Boonsi's now dodging the grenades that are being thrown underneath him by Eunice. The tables have turned in that situation. But the rest of Penta are still a little bit unaware about where these guys are coming from. Look at Pengu. He's been sat here on this balcony for most of the entire game watching this rotate, but no one is even close to being there. So he is more or less a wasted operator at the moment. Meanwhile, Sai cautious looking down through these gaps again. Eunice still trying to fire up through the hole. He has his asphyxiating bolts and is cautious of people dropping behind him. But again, Sisu are playing a very static game. They know they don't need to be this kind of mobile. They can sense the panic here coming out from Penta. And they're trying to make the most of it. Sai is taking a bit more damage up through the hole again, and the diffuser is still down. Eunice being hunted and trapped by the pulse, so they know they can be safe from him. And now Sai's picked it up. 45 seconds to go. Pengu has moved on inside. Vapo's finally begun the flank. Now he's just hiding out in that small corridor. He knows he doesn't have to move too soon until he really hears Penta making their big final push. Fabian in the dining room double doors. Protex is inside the room for it. He gets on in and he has to get the down on it. Eunice has got Chalet at the same time. Vapo is going to come around out behind. He takes down Pengu. Now he's got to look for the next two. Fabian is one. The other one's the man with the diffuser, but there is not a lot of health on any of these members of Penta. Sai is planting. Fabian gets down at the same time as Wilkie. Vapo now comes on in. He's going to go for the revive. They've got the time. Boonsi is keeping them busy inside, and inside his own fire, Eunice sprints in for suicide. Now this Sai is right next to Boonsi, and that smoke will be enough if Vapo hadn't shot him anyway. Sisu will go 2-0 up with a successful defuse and a solid retake.
Intense. I mean, we saw right here Vapo came in from the back corridor, in through bar, picked up one kill, was able to revive his own teammate, pushed on in and got the final kill there on the Thermite, who tucked away. But in that same time span, you had Capital lighting himself on fire with his own arrow. So a little bit of confusion, a little bit of chaos happening there, and that's one of the things I love about this game, is the fact that you might have a very strong push, but one little thing can go wrong and it might just tear your entire plan to shreds. So seeing as how it was a very slow but very good push from the attackers was great to see. You saw them get the double kills that they tried to push on in, and next thing you know, the flank from behind just tore everything apart. Yeah,
this is where he has nice play on the floors above, but they just couldn't lock the positions that Sisu were in. They had some very nice spots where they weren't exposed to the holes, they weren't exposed to any extra windows, and Penta couldn't get the kills they needed for it. And then, as you say, coming in for the plant, the Capital asphyxiating bolt was nice. It locked out Boonsi. He couldn't come in and stop the plant, but it then also cut off their escape from the flank from Wilkie and Vapo that came the other way. And yeah, he has to sprint into his own bolt to try and get out to somewhere safe, and dies because of it.
Yep.
Now, though, Penta are downstairs in towards the basement for their next attempt at defense. They don't want to try and go upstairs. They did not like the way that played out for them. Their ace in the hole strategy, their three-man on the top floor, castle barricade, fancy play, crumbled very easily. Sisu didn't even seem to break a sweat. So Penta going back to tried and true old school basement.
Yeah, and what we're not seeing here is a Valkyrie, and I didn't expect the Valkyrie reduction from 4 cams to 3 cams I didn't expect it to have that much of a toll on her playability, but we've seen a lot less of her today than I would have expected.
From Penta?
Yes.
The other teams have been running it. Valkyrie's been in the Sisu roster, has been in the first 2 teams' rosters, G-Bots and Euronics both played her. Penta never really been a huge fan of it. They'd rather run this Doc Rook strategy. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. It's the Rook or the Doc or the Smoke that's been switched in and out for her on a few situations. And well, yeah, Penta are sticking with their old school Season 1 roster, to be completely honest, with the operators they pick.
Yeah, and we do see Garage Wall getting opened up just now. After the little misflash there, I believe we saw one of those earlier and thought it might have been one of the new gadgets that came out in 4.2 with a self-flashing nade. But nonetheless, we have here inside a connector is going to be Eunice stuck inside there. Not stuck, but being very cautious about if he's going to peek outside to trying to face Blackbeard, who's out here. And we see Sai tucked on the other side of that B-bomb to the left, trying to see if someone's going to pop their head inside. But right now, it's just Boonsi who's out here all alone. We've got the rest of the attackers trying to formulate a plot around. It looks as though they're going to go for the bar drop hatch, opening up that. That's going to clear out almost all of that snowmobile garage. Push them into connector, push the defenders back into the winery. Now, if they can get it open, which it sounds like they just did, that's going to be very detrimental to Pengu, who I believe was still inside. Now he's rotated around Fabian, actually. He's going to pick up that kill onto shots. And now looks as though Junis is going to pay the price through the little hole that was just made on the floor.
Vapo's low, but Eunice does pay the price as that bar dropper is opened up, and he uses the tight angle to get a shot on the man in connector. Grenades go off inside bar, making more holes in the floor as he now tries to fire down, catches the feet of Sai, but it's not enough to do any serious damage. But meanwhile, Fabian's been killed off in the back corridor, so there's no more Doc. 3 defenders left alive. Make that 2 now as Sai goes back to the same spot he was at before by the boat, and Vapo makes it count this time. Wilkie's in the back corridor now, careful for a man pushing him. Pengu's there right by the connector and turns away just as Wilkie peeks into towards it. Toby has taken out Vapo upstairs, and now inside connector is 1. Oh, Wilkie didn't realize it's where he'd moved to, and he will go down with ease as Pengu doesn't even have to worry about it. There was even a drone looking at him there. That's not good. Toby's on the staircase. Outside the door, Boonsey is standing there with... In fact, he's inside the door, and he exposes himself to a tornado. Toby, as the diffuser is in Protex's hands. Toby comes on in. He's now going to go and smoke it. Protex is right inside. Protex taking a lot of damage, spins in the corridor. Bit of a sloppy push there from Sisu, and they throw the end of the round away. Good round, Penta.
Yeah, it started out really nice. They got garage open. They got the bar drop open. They secured that top floor, but it fell apart very quickly. What I did like to see right there towards that very end when it was 2-on-1, you had Smoke right at the bottom of those fireplace stairs. You had Rook inside a connector, and Thermite was about to decide what he wanted to do after he stepped foot in garage. What I liked seeing there was Smoke's usefulness of his smoke grenades. He didn't try to smoke out Thermite. What he tried to do was prevent Thermite from going back outside. He didn't want Thermite to have another chance to do whatever it was he was going to try to do, whether it would rotate around, push back in, get a different angle, whatever that was. He prevented it. He threw the smoke grenade beyond Thermite, threw it outside inside of the garage door, blew it, and that forced Thermite to overreact, pushed on in right into Rook, and that's where Rook was able to finish him off.
So, down in the basement now goes Sisu. They have that Valkyrie mixed up. They got their cameras in play, and they are going to try and hold this site as best they can. That's not a good sign. No, okay, just like, whew. So,
you stay there, Vapo.
Vapo going on the spot for a little while, just but the treadmill work. Boonsey is upstairs doing a few of the trapdoors. We saw that bar dropper being opened up, making a lot of pressure available to Sisu when they attacked it. It did go wrong afterwards, but once that was opened, that was very nice for them. We'll see if Penta can get the same thing done. It's something which a lot of teams never actually did in the early days of attacking this site, but has started to become a thing as the meta has progressed.
Yeah, and there's actually no Thatcher, no Twitch. So if they were to try to bandit swap, they might potentially be able to get that off, but I think instead they're just going to use the mute jammers, and those are going to be proving to be just as useful in preventing a wall from getting opened up so long as there's not a Thatcher, which there isn't.
So Wookie does get droned inside the trophy room. He then sprints away to safety before killing the drone, so he doesn't get wall-banged in, and he does get out safely indeed. Meanwhile, however, the pressure is coming up from this way, and the rest of the Penta force.
Yeah, and it looks as though we're going to have a push here from the big garage towards the winery. Not seeing most of the attackers push in from the snowmobile. I believe we've got Blackbeard who's at the bottom of those kitchen stairs outside looking to push in. We already have Ash and we have Capital working their way in through Trophy, now inside a kitchen. He's looking to see, hey, someone upstairs? Now, we can see Valkyrie up there, but I don't believe she's been droned out of that location just yet. But they're going to be looking for that flank here in a bit. Fabian's going to try to look in towards Fireplace. Looks as the drop hatch above Winery's going to get opened up. Pengu's going to retreat back over to the Trophy real quickly. And Sai's just going to cover this main hall.
So, minute 38 on the clock. Toby has opened up this west main door and is looking to cover any kind of rotates or anyone coming from upstairs down. Penta got full control of the kitchen, the Trophy, and they're looking to come down the back stairs and towards the A site. They haven't really put any pressure or drones in towards the actual site itself. So there is a real possibility for Sisu to have rotated around and made their way from the A site into some sneaky corners. But there aren't many places to actually hide within that A site itself. Sai now edging towards the door. We'll open it up in just a second, and Shatter pinned deep inside the small wine cellar. Around the corner, Eunice peeks. He's the man with the diffuser, and he's taking a lot of damage. Wilkie gets the kill onto Fabian upstairs. Fabian, one of the men watching the flank, and Wilkie grabs the second one as he gets Sai as well. He's still back there into this trophy room, drops down the backside into the car room. Got the C4 out in towards Garage, throws it in towards Capital. He's there, and he peeks on in aggressively. Cannot make the shots count. but he has delayed them a little bit further. 39 seconds on the clock, and while the wall is open, Eunice is low. He's lacking an asphyxiating bolt, and the shots from Boonsey are rattling in from the connector. Pengu trying to fire back, but Boonsey has taken a lot of damage without dealing any. 27 seconds, the smokes are coming in. Asphyxiating bolt still saved up. Boonsey gets a nice shot. Chalet will get the kill on Toby. Chalet gets a second one as he pushes going forward, gets behind Pengu for the third, and the plan didn't even get completed as that smoke works both ways, and Chalet uses it to his advantage.
Yeah, we had the triple kill there from Chance, and I mean, we had Wilkie get two, we had 3 kills there. 2-man show right there. You had the nice flank from Wilkie picking off Ash and Thermite. It left Blackbeard, it left, I believe it was Sledge and Capital down to their fates down in the back of Winery.
Oh, 3 rounds to 1 in favor of Sisu now. They're going to go back onto attack. They're going to attack the kitchen trophy again. Penta, they tried a crazy new upstairs strategy. They're running the same operas they did that with. They've got that castle again. They might be confident that they can execute it better this time over. Or they might try and run it downstairs and a little bit more standardized. But they need to close the gaps a little bit more. And that was an instant impact nade into the wall right next to Eunice and Toby. And an even Sai took a little bit of damage from that. Who threw it? Well, 2 have been gone from Sai. Yeah, Sai threw both of his impact nades damn near instantly.
Must have alt-tabbed back in and pushed the wrong button. But nonetheless, I liked what I saw from Pentu trying to stretch this meta with Castle, trying to utilize him in a different fashion. It was something that we hadn't seen before, and it looks as though they might be trying it again, seeing as how we are going to have this bedroom master wall reinforced. And Castle's already up here, ready to throw the castle wall down. So I think it's something unique. I think it's something we haven't seen before, and potentially this might not be the next meta teams are going to try to utilize, but it might start stretching the imagination as to, hey, let's pick different operators we haven't chosen before. Let's see what we might be able to choose and change it up a bit to some strats that people haven't seen.
So they are on up. They've used one of the heals from Doc already because of that damage that was done to Eunice. So he's a little bit healthier, but not quite full. Well, the attack is coming in. Protex droning in through the west main door. Boonsey is checking up through the kitchen window. Wilkie is approaching the library stair entrance. Chalet going downstairs into the basement, and Vapo heading around towards the main garage doors. They put Wilkie straight up onto that balcony again. They shoot the window straight open again. This is where he got the kill before. It's where he's cautious of it. Toby this time, however, not aggressively peeking out.
And from this angle, we can't see if Toby's on his drone, or I mean, sorry, on a camera, or if he's just waiting for someone to hop in through the window. My expectation is he's just going to be waiting for the window. That's his job right now. Make sure they can't take over bathroom, get information about other individuals, about other attackers and their pushes from your teammates.
There, jumps a drone on in. He's cautious of what's behind him. They didn't actually check the hot tub there. He's just checking the hole through the gap. He's Fabian. He sees him. He downs him. Gets the kill before the revive comes through. Cautious of the library window. Drops before Smoke can peek up from the hot tub itself. And he's staying down and staying hidden.
It looks as though they're actually going to try to push in from the bedroom here. Twitch tried to did it, and Tornado, Toby, peeks on up from there, picks off Sledge. And it's got to feel a little bit upsetting now that Twitch just let that happen to his own teammate.
Especially because he's using the extended barrel. That's going to sting. Meanwhile, Boonsey is on a 1 HP again as they're pushing their way in. Now they're cautious of the hot tub room. Bit late for that as he's already bucked away. Smoke Castle is being sprayed by Twitch inside the office as he is staying in there, but pinned and low health watching the doorway. So he's just keeping himself in. Chalet going to drone. They need to be more severe with this one, though. Need to be more sure of it. Chalet sees where he is, but goes for the rotator round, and Sai is ready for it. It's a nice quick kill for him, and they're still looking to try and shake this castle out as they need to make it work. Eunice is also, by the way, upstairs now on this floor by library. So there are 4 men upstairs. Sai, there we go, taken out by Boonsey this time around. But they are not aware of Eunice. He has been downed. Never mind, someone was aware of him. He gets down through the library room window. That's what Wilkie was watching for majority of the game. So they know he cannot be revived anytime soon. Grenade going to bounce up, over, and down. It does take Smoke low. He's going to chase after him, finds him running into Wine, takes him lower again. Can't land the kill shot though. Tornado Toby looking to rotate a long way around as Pengu does get 1 kill inside the objective, but then gets downed himself by Wilkie. Wilkie has the diffuser and is on the site. Boonsey is watching the stairs from behind. Eunice is going to be revived from upstairs, but Toby is coming from the dining room doorways. He's punching his way on in. He's looking for that angle to the plant. He doesn't stop it. Wilkie is back on his feet with full health. He can hear the man punching the door. He must have. There it is. Easy kill. and Sisu are on map point. They went from losing Clubhouse 5 rounds to 1 to potentially winning Chalet here 5 rounds to 1.
Yeah, I was almost expecting Smoke to rotate up those back stairs, pick up his own teammate, but after his, I believe it was Rook, or after whoever it was inside of the kitchen and inside of dining got finished off, it was just those 2 guys left alive. You kind of have to say, okay, Diffuser's going to get planted, they're going to hold their angles. Is it really valuable for me to go and pick up my teammate when I might be able to get a better angle if I get to that location quicker?
Yeah, I agree. Like, punching that door open, trying to stop the plant, nice idea, but maybe go and get revive your teammate.
Yeah, it's one of those calls that we'll never know how it ended if it would have been the other way. Yeah. But fortunately, though, for Sisu, it is 4-1, and they're on to match point.
So, Sisu on to defense of the kitchen trophy room again, arguably the best site on the map. Their potentially favorite site on the map. It's what they picked first. They won it very convincingly with their first defense because Penta's upstairs attack, their pressure onto this floor, the destruction of this level didn't give them the kills they wanted, didn't give them the kills they needed to take control of that downstairs site. And when they pushed on in, it was a slaughter with a Vapo Wilkie flank from behind as well. So let's see if they learn their lesson. Let's see if their pressure is better this time. Can they do a better job perhaps of getting the kills from above before they push? Or will this be all she wrote for Penta spots?
Yeah, we see the majority of the attackers starting out by campfire. Blackbeard starting all by himself over there in the southeast corner. But that's just going to give him a nice angle to peek in through the kitchen window and potentially in through the doorways into trophy from the kitchen window, which we typically see someone with an ACOG on their gun trying to utilize that angle. It's a nice angle to hold, especially for the first 60 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, in case the defenders haven't finished reinforcing and need to go back and forth into the hallway. But it looks as though we are going to have a quick push in here from Penta, trying to go into their Clubhouse mentality, where they say, okay, let's open up as much as possible, get as much information as quickly as possible, and just finish them off. But Shot is there to finish off Junis with a quick C4 from underneath.
Same thing he did last time around. Shatter C4's into the master bedroom, kills off another man, goes for the spray through the floor this time, a little bit more aggression, but yeah, it's exactly what they did before. C4's the man in master bedroom as soon as he's going in and out of the doorway. Wokino hiding in the laxing bush. Vapo looking up through this trapdoor from the basement in towards the office. Cautious of anyone that might be coming in on that floor with him. Boonsi once more inside the B site. This is his home. This is where he sits. As Shatter gets another one up through the floor. This time it's Sai. That's the thermite. He has blown open the trapdoor to his bedroom already, but that's going to hurt. And Wilkie C4's one more. Toby now gets down by Shatter's bullets, and it is all on to Pengu's Blackbeard. He's just jumped into the fireplace. This is where he's been the entire time. Going to spray open the door, and now they know exactly where he is. They know he's nowhere near Toby. And this may be Pengu going for a
It might be time for that one dig.
Up and above him, there is a player crouch walking on that floor. That's Wilkie. He's just finished off Toby. Now they know for sure it's only Pengu. He's cautious of what's coming behind him. Here is Vapo running around through the basement. He's going to come up through one angle. Wilkie is above, looking at that same spot to see if he is clear. The call will come out that he is. Vapo edges further up. Pengu looking in the right spot. Doesn't quite get the react in time, but neither of them land the important shots. There we go. Wookie jumps on over, and there's no ammo left for Pengu, and that is done. Sisu, 5 rounds to 1. Take map number 2, and it is a 1-round draw apiece between Penta and Sisu. These guys showing you that they are both at the top of the game, and it does come down to map knowledge, map strategies, and game-to-game play. It's not all she wrote is, all right, we lost one map, 5 rounds to 1, that's it, we're screwed, we got no chance. It's a new map, new strategies, new training, and you can completely switch the game up on its head.
Yeah, a lot of times when you get beat down 5-1 on the first map, if you're not into